radial engines, tail wheels, air shows, and the lessons that make better pilots. Welcome to Retro-Aero with Czech pilot Dale. Aviation history, practical airmanship, and honest hangar stories. Let's fly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Question of the Day Retro-Aero podcast. I am your host, Czech pilot Dale. If you'd like to send us a question for the question of the day, you can email us at aviators@retroaero.org. Or if you're part of our WhatsApp group, you can post your question in our podcast subgroup. Today's question is, what's some of your favorite Airbus trivia? I answered this question a little bit earlier, but I do have another answer to an Airbus trivia question. It's a little known fact that as a pilot on an Airbus, I know exactly when the passengers flush the toilets. Now, we don't have a toilet flush detector or anything like that, but when you're cruising along at 35,000 feet, the aircraft is pressurized. The altitude inside the cabin is around 8,000 feet. And if you've ever used a lavatory on an airplane, particularly an Airbus, you know that when you push the button, you hear a sucking sound. The airplane uses the differential pressure between the outside air and the inside pressurized tube to suck whatever's in the toilet into the tank. And no, we don't eject the stuff overboard and it doesn't come flying out of the airplane. It's all stored on the airplane. However, that brief suction of the toilet causes the indication in the flight deck of the cabin altitude to go up at about 50 feet per minute. So if one person flushes the toilet, I see the cabin start to increase at 50 feet a minute. If two people flush at the same time, I'll see a climb of 100 feet per minute. Every toilet flush causes a temporary increase in altitude. Now, very quickly, this system responds to that increase and adds more air into the cabin. Or, to be more accurate, it allows less air to leave. So overall, the cabin pressurization stays right around 8,000 feet. But every once in a while, it'll start climbing at 50 feet per minute and then stop and climb back down to 8,000 feet. And that happens when people flush the toilet. So yes, I can tell you exactly how many toilets are being flushed and exactly when, thanks to being able to monitor the altitude, interior altitude of the airplane. Thanks for listening. And remember, keep the oily side down unless you're doing aerobatics. See you tomorrow.
You've been listening to Retro-Aero with Czech pilot Dale. Thanks for flying along, and remember to always have airspeed, altitude, and ideas, or at least 2 out of 3. Bye for now.